warm welcome to the BIM studio at the BIM World 2019. We have here a very nice panel together with Enzo from the GS1 and Christophe from Construction Products Europe. Please, Enzo, introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm Enzo Blanc. I work at the GS1 Global Office, formerly known as EAN International, and in charge of technical industries, which, amongst others, includes construction.
Thanks, Enzo. We are coming later to some questions. Christophe, could you introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Christophe Sykes, and I represent the European Construction Product Association, Brussels-based, a lobby association presenting the case of the manufacturing industry.
GS1 what, Enzo? I mean, this is your favorite frame, right? For our visitors here, what is GS1 doing, especially in the construction business?
We have started since 2 years now in the construction industry, mainly because we saw a gap somewhere in the whole digital supply chain in terms of what is the digital twin, how do you connect the digital twin with the physical twin, and this is something that we have been working on already since 1974, mainly with the retail industry and the healthcare industry. You have your digital information in the databases, your physical product on the shop floor or in the pharmacy or in the hospital. How do you connect those two? And that is what our core business is providing, an identification system using barcodes, using RFID tags.
So the one which we know from all our food we buy at a retail store, that's your company behind?
Absolutely. So we manage that. We're a neutral, non-for-profit organization, globally present with 114 countries, organizations, GS1 country organizations, and around 2 million members worldwide.
How many scans do you have per day? I remember they're a very curious figure.
We estimate about 6 billion scans a day, which is a bit more than Google has searches per day.
That's amazing. So your organization is as important as Google?
I wouldn't say that. They are at least more visible than we are.
Okay. Also such an organization where not many people are aware of, right? You are the umbrella of many, many local or regional or national alliances. Could you explain that a bit better, Christophe?
Yes. So we are also a non-profit association. Like many interested parties, we're based in Brussels, and we bring together all product manufacturers through national and European associations, over 50, and we cover every single construction product that there is out there on the market.
So below 50 national construction associations, I believe there are thousands of members, right?
Well, we've never counted, but from SMEs, small, medium-sized company, to multinationals, no names, but they're all involved with us and interacting with the European institutions.
So what's then your daily job, having so many members, having so many tasks to fulfill, because the construction products are I mean, coming from here, from wood to I don't know what. Yes. It's amazing, or?
Well, we mainly focused on two topics. The legal framework, the construction product regulation, so your CE marking that allows you to be sold and transported across the internal market, and what we used to be called environmental issues, now sustainability, and probably moving to the circular economy concept. So we deal with all these concepts and try and bring forward solutions from the construction industry.
So every construction product has to have a mark, has to have a kind of a certification standard or a certification mark?
So if you're classified as a construction product, you come under the construction product regulation, and this regulation defines how you attain your CE mark. Behind the CE mark, there is a standard for each family of product that defines the classes and the methodology by which you obtain the information, the data that you will then transfer to the market on a mandatory format.
Is this already mandatory? So
yes,
is it already rolled out?
We were set up 30 years ago to define the rules to the first legislation, and we are still here and looking ahead at probably a new version of this regulation in the years to come.
Okay, but there's no dedicated plan when there will be the next version.
The Commission never stops, and of course the digital agenda and the climate, shall I say, sustainability agenda also have an impact of the type of information that the manufacturers are able or willing to deliver to the market to improve the quality of our buildings and infrastructure.
So the identification, at least, of product materials, construction materials, is very important for the ecological footprint later or sooner. So how could GS1 help there to have a track and trace of that material? I mean, we are also talking from cradle to cradle, meaning at first to realize the product and then later to recycle the product in a proper way. Could you explain that a bit? What your role is there?
Okay, the idea is, like we do in other sectors where we have been successful over the years, is to provide a sort of a birth certificate to a product at its design stage, which lasts like a passport to the end of its life disposal. The information as to what the product is made out of belongs to the manufacturer. The manufacturer needs to provide that information. Today, on paper, in the future, digital. How do you make that worthwhile? I mean, on paper it's easy, you pass the paper on, but in the digital world you need to have a unique identifier so that all the people, all the stakeholders in the supply chain can refer to that number and know that they talk about the same object. That product, of course, in digital remains for years and years, and even after its dismantling, the product will still live on as data somewhere. So what we provide is indeed the passport, a digital passport with all the biometrics, let's say fingerprints, where have you been born, what is, etc., like a real passport that lasts and to which you can refer. And that is a key, unique identifier, that is the key that opens information towards data. That could be the ingredients of the product, could be when has it been purchased, when has it been paid for, when has it been delivered. So in the logistics, very important, using EDI amongst others. And then how has that product performed over the time? How often has it been maintained? By whom has it been maintained? Because a lot of the activities are outsourced these days. So everybody needs to work on a common language. Mm-hmm. And this is what we're trying to achieve by having global unique identifiers. Mm-hmm.
But the basis is at least a common BIM model at first, and then your solutions are coming on top, and those solutions have then also to interconnect with an existing BIM model, that at least the twin is living forever.
So in the BIM model, it's a generic object with some properties. The manufacturer manufactures products based on certain properties. The manufacturer can identify his product with what we call a GTIN, or formerly EAN number, so a global trade item number. And that linking those two, so the generic with the physical object, is what we're trying to achieve in a work group which is called the Digital Supply Chain in Built Environment, that is active since March this year and is basically a rollout of an MOU that we have signed with Building Smart International.
Okay. And I think Christophe was also in the meeting yesterday or 2 days ago. Could you drive that from your position sitting in Brussels? Could you drive that idea or concept having a passport for every European building with a fingerprint?
Yes, of course. So just to again set the framework, there is mandatory data that manufacturers have to deliver to the market. And that is done. But they also, on a voluntary basis, deliver environmental information. It differs from one product to the other, one manufacturer to the other, but if you think of this concept now of circular economy, we need some sort of platform of how to transmit where's the data ownership and how do we change the parameters if the products change. And we're involved, the kickoff was last week in Bologna, the first time we've got a European project looking at digital platforms and what they can do for all the actors, because the value chain in construction is extremely long. It's called DigiPlace, and we're very keen to look, and the European Commission's also got ideas about building passports. There's the Levels project, which is sustainability assessment of buildings. So there's plenty of things. We could mention the EPBD, the Energy Performance of Building Directive. So you see all these characteristics need to come together somehow to make sure that our buildings are climate-proof and deliver the best services that they can.
So the lady which is now heading the European Commission, she has an idea, right, for the next days?
Today she was in front of the European Parliament. She awaits the final green light. Mrs. von der Leyen, she will be the new European Commission President. And yes, indeed, she made a promise that within the first 100 days of her mandate, she will deliver what she's called the Green Deal. And that will be the new way forward. There'll be a climate law. There'll be a new climate circular economy strategy. So lots of things to look forward to and to work with in the coming months and years.
We could check that in 12 months. In 12 months we will be back here at that table and we will discuss what this strong lady did and if she made the Green Deal. Coming to that, I want to say thank you to all of you who were visitor, exhibitor, sponsors of the BIM World 2019 in Munich, who took part as speakers. Thank you so much for being with us. We will be back exactly in 12 months. It was a great pleasure to be with you. We will enlarge our audience, we will enlarge our space, we will bring 50% plus of square meters on the floor. We will go deeper into topics like common data environment, because we have the feeling that cloud infrastructures are important, especially secure cloud infrastructures, to at least transmit all the data in a secure environment, to have a real digital passport sooner or later. So all these topics will drive BIM as a glue for all these things. And we are looking forward to see you all again in 12 months. Thank you so much for being with us. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.